Okay, so we're in lesson 4.2 and we're on page 224 of your textbook. And if you go there, you will see your assignment is you're supposed to look at these guys, and there's a couple pages of sequences, and you are supposed to figure out what is the missing sequence. Now, if you Xerox them, like I did, and cut them out, that's kind of handy. And you can see A, your first problem, 45, 90, 180, 360. You're supposed to figure out the next three. You got B is going to be -4, -2, 0, 2. And you're supposed to figure out the next three and answer some questions. Before we do that, let me give you some hints and some vocabulary. You're facing two different kinds of sequences. The first type of sequence that you're going to face, that's a possibility, is an arithmetic sequence. Now, in an arithmetic sequence, the difference is constant. In other words, the number between the numbers is always the same. You're either adding 2 or adding 4 or adding 5, always, 5, 5, 5, or you're subtracting 5 every time. And each time, that's an arithmetic sequence. And remember, if you're subtracting, that's the same thing as adding a negative number. The difference, remember I said you could always be adding 2, you could be adding 5. The difference is called the common difference. So here, if I have a sequence, let's say 4, 8, 12, 16, the common difference every time is 4. We're always adding 4. So as you're doing the assignment, watch out for arithmetic sequences. Now the other kind of sequence you can get is a geometric sequence. And those sequences, again, the difference is constant, but there's something else going on. Let me show you one. Let's do 4, 8, 16, 32. Now you can see there's not a constant difference if I start looking at adding, because I'm adding 4, I'm adding 8, here I'm adding 16. But if you go beyond addition and subtraction and start thinking about multiplication, then you'll notice every time I'm multiplying by 2. And so the difference in a geometric sequence is constant. You're always multiplying by 2 or multiplying by 3 or multiplying by 4 or whatever. And that number that you're multiplying by is called the common ratio. In this case, it was 2. Now remember, it is possible to multiply by a fraction. For example, I could take 16 and multiply it by 0.5. And if I do that, I come up to 8. And if I multiply that by 0.5, well, that's 4. And if I multiply 4 by 0.5, well, that's 2. So multiplying by a fraction, instead of going up, you're going to be going down. Right? Same thing as division, by the way. All right, so if you look at your problem A, I think pretty quickly you're going to see 45, 90. We're not adding the same, but I am, if you look, multiplying every time by 2. Here, I went from -4 to -2, 0, 2. Every time, I'm going up by 2. Okay? All right, so your assignment, you need to, oh, here we go. You need to go through and you need to figure out the next 3 numbers of your sequences. Have fun.